One of my favorite videos to film is a favorites video, and it's been a bit of an interesting month, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, but I've noticed that while I've been making this favorites list that I have been going back to some classics, some old plants, some plants that are just there, that just always do well, that just survive no matter what the circumstances are in our life. They are just hardy, true classics, and I want to give them a spotlight in today's video. Hello everyone, welcome to my jungle story. I'm Jacqueline, and I'm going to get straight into the favorites because I've got 12 for you guys. Normally I do 10, but I don't know, there's some exciting things happening, but this has been a bit of a difficult month for my plant collection. I have been going through an infestation of thrips. I didn't want to say like a serious infestation because the good bugs have stopped it from getting to a really bad point. But yeah, I've been noticing a lot of thrips. I've also, in the last 2 months, I have bought a lot of new plants. So I'm obviously, those pests can be in those plants or on those plants. And also, we've also had a bit of a thrip infestation at work. I work in a garden center, if you didn't know. And yeah, it's been quite bad at work. We've had to get good bugs in, which is something we've never done before. But yeah, I've been releasing ladybugs, and yeah, it's been quite fun, to be honest. I've been learning a lot about it. But yeah, we've had to tackle quite an infestation there. And that obviously means that, I come home and I try to take my work clothes off before I come into this area, like the main area. But that's not always the case. I come in and I either hear the kids or something and I want to go say hello, and you get kind of into that rhythm and you kind of just forget. But usually I do make a habit of changing my clothes before I come in here. But even then, they can still be on me, whether I change my clothes or not. It can be in my hair. I don't want to think about that because that's gross. But yeah, they can still get in here. It's still going to happen. We still also, even though it is autumn now and it has been getting a little bit colder, this back door here, we have a back door and then another back door, but that's Lexi's room. And right now, as you can hear, the two back doors are completely open. We've also taken our flash screen off so bugs can get in even easier. I've not been opening the window as much, but still, having that door open, bugs are going to get in. They're going to get in. It's going to happen. So yeah, it's been a month of trying to battle the pests. I have a subscription with Rootsum. Every single month I get preventative bugs for thrips, but I had to contact them and ask them because for something more, something to attack the thrips, because I've been seeing a lot of adult form thrips. And obviously with adult form also comes the juvenile thrips, but a lot of the adult form. And the adult form are the buggers for me. If I see adult form thrips, then I know it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. So I did go ahead and get some bugs to fight those. Now the adult thrips, you still have to kill them. It's the larvae that you have to go after. But they've really been doing a good job. And I feel now, it's been about 2 weeks since I've actually seen adult thrips, juvenile thrips. Mitch had it in his cabinet the worst, and I'm not kidding. We released them the night that we got the package, and the next morning, they were gone, all of the juvenile thrips. They're quite big, the ones that, actually fight, because I think it's called phytomite. It's not only for thrips, it's also for aphids, and it's also for spider mites, because I have used it for spider mites, but these were the big ones. It was actually really interesting to watch them at work. Very fascinating. And we also sprayed all of the plants, it was so humid in here, before we actually released them, and they just came out and they had an absolute ball. So yeah, I do feel like they're working next week. The preventative bugs are going to be coming. So yeah, I feel like with good bugs, you can get on top of the infestation very, very quickly, especially for someone like me who has a very busy life. Like I work, I'm also doing this like content creation on the side. I have 2 kids. Mitch is also now going to be starting his own little business. So yeah, our life is very, very busy and we still want to do a lot in the future. We have big plans, big plans, but that means that we have a very busy life. So good bugs for me is just the way forward, because although there are lots of different preventative measures that you can do, like the one that I previously used to do with the neem oil, alcohol, dishwashing liquid, peppermint, and I think that was it. Honestly, I don't even remember. It's been quite a while since I've used that. But I had to do that so frequently that I really had to be in a routine with it. And whenever I got busy at work, or whenever I was busy like with this work, something was going on with the kids, like I would drop the ball on that and I wouldn't be up on top of that preventative measure. And it just used to cause issues. And I have a lot of plants, like I have up to 300 houseplants, like it's a lot. Beginning of this year, I had I never say an exact number, but I think it was between the 200 and 220 that I had the beginning of this year. So yeah, my collection has changed quite a lot. But good bugs for me is the way forward. I'm going on a tangent about that, but I just think they've just made my life so much easier. Like they really, really have. But anyway, on to the favorites. Yeah, I've got some classic plants. Again, I'm not going to be doing these in any order whatsoever. I usually always end with my favorite. And oh, that's a difficult one this month. No, I know which one's my favorite. Yeah, there's a lot of plants here that are like plants that we've had for a while. Oh my word. There's only 2 new plants on this list. So I'm actually going to start off with one that I don't think I've showed. I have shown you in my collection walkthrough, but I don't know, this plant just catches my eye every single time. And when it came in at work, it's like every single year, this time of year, it always comes in, because it's one that actually blooms in the winter, which I absolutely love. I just think that's just like that little bit of extra that we need in the darker seasons. So, it's actually good I'm bringing this out because I really need to water it, but that's this one. This is the Ludisia discolor, and yeah, this gets beautiful white flowers. You can actually, yeah, I saw one in there. You can see it starting to pop out. But yeah, this one blooms like December. I think it's sometime in December. It's got the most beautiful white flowers. I used to have one of these. I need to water it. You need to water this when the first like centimeter dries out, because there's also a lot of like pups at the bottom and I don't want them to dry out, die. But yeah, these came in at work and they were, I don't know, I think it was 15 euros. I think that's quite expensive for a plant like this. I don't know, but it's only one that comes in once a year. And it's also linked to Christmas for some reason. I think it's because it does flower like in December. But I think it's such a pretty one. I used to have one of these and it got very, very leggy. I think I forgot to water it once and I lost a lot of foliage, and then I tried to propagate it and it didn't work. Like it just didn't work. I remember I got this, I think this was when Matil was born. And yeah, I was getting back into my plants, but this one was just like a little bit too much out of my comfort zone then, and I did lose it. So this is my second one that I've got. But it's such a pretty one. It's just that dark foliage with the like lightning. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. And I love this pot combination. My Epischia cupreata, I've had that plant on my favorites list a couple of times this year, and I unfortunately lost it. I let it get way too dry, and then I tried to propagate it, and just all those propagations they all died, which is a shame. I still have the pink brocade, but that one is also going downhill. I don't know what it is with that one. The Epischia, the first one that I had, the one I've had for over a year. Well, I don't have it anymore. But yeah, that one was definitely the easiest one compared to other ones that I've had. I think I've had 3 other varieties and they've all died on me. And now I've lost the one that I absolutely love. So We do have them in as little baby plants, but I don't know. I'm not like leaning towards getting it again, but I'm definitely thinking about it. But I feel like if I'm not like 100% sure, I shouldn't do it because I have so many plants and that's just like one extra thing to take care of. But I did really love that plant. I did. Like I do really love that plant. So yeah. Okay. It's just my neighbor giving a little update that they're going to be working in our road right in front of our house. That's going to be so much fun because, you know, we don't have enough going on around us. A new house there, doing a house there. I think they're also down the road doing another renovation project. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about this plant. Yeah, the Apiscia. Whenever I see this pot, I always think of the Apiscia because it used to be in here and I absolutely love this pot. Combination with the plants, like it just really makes it stand out. This is living underneath our TV. It is getting some direct sun at like evening sun, not for long, like at all, not even an hour. But it's just such a pretty one, such a pretty one. And a vigorous grower as well. Like it's grown quite a couple of leaves since I've had it. It's a bit dusty. It does get quite dusty there by the TV. It's normal. But such a pretty one. So pretty. Okay. I'm going to be careful. I'm actually so surprised that I have a couple of Alocasia on this list. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise because Alocasia is my favorite genus, but if you've been following me, you know I've been struggling with Alocasia lately, but I'm never going to give up on them. I'm always going to be true to them. You know, I do love them. But this one had to make the list because this one has been shooting the lights out and I cannot believe it. I do, as you can see, this is the box with the phytomites to, you know, get rid of all of the bugs. And then this is the baggies that I have a subscription with. But these will have been done by now, I think. I actually opened this package to kind of, there is a hole, like you don't have to do anything, but I've noticed that if you rip the package just like a little bit, it like encourages them to come out a little bit more. I don't know, maybe that's just in my head. But yeah, this is my gageana aurea, and you guys have seen the journey of this plant. It's been through some ups and downs, that's for sure, but it's definitely on the way up now, and it's growing like crazy. It has so many pups in it. So this one here in the middle is the mother plant, and it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 5 pups in there. That's what's looking so nice and lush, and I love it. I'm going to keep it like that. I know that this plant makes corms like crazy, but yeah, I used to have this one. I still haven't done an update on that video. I used to have this one in the self-watering system with pond from Plant Scraper. And I mean, my syngonium that I had in that, it's still in that, absolutely loves it. But this one was a rehab. So this one was struggling and it hardly had any roots. And I think if I do that system, the plant does at least have to have some, you know, have some of a root system. And that one didn't. I think it only had 1 root. So it was really, really struggling. It was making new roots, but it was struggling. It was just struggling. So I put it in I went through a little bit of a bender with the aroid mix from Plant Scraper because I just fell in love with it. Like every single plant I put in there, Philodendron, Anthurium, Monstera, Alocasia, they were going crazy. So I put this one in the aroid mix. This is I always get the two confused because there's a premium one and there's a supreme one. This is the supreme one, like the higher level one. This one's got, the only difference between the two is that the one has got tree fern fiber in it. This plant has been going insane. I think in my Alocasia care day, I showed you this plant, so that wasn't that long ago. That was like the last video. Was it the last video or the video before that? I don't remember. But there's mushrooms growing in the mix, which is obviously a very good sign as well. I've only ever had that with the mix from the Philodendron and Monstera mix from Soil Ninja. I've also noticed mushrooms are growing in there. It's so cool. It's so cool to see. Like you can see here, there's a mushroom. And here as well. There's another mushroom. It's so cool to see. But yeah, it's been rooting like absolute crazy. It loves the mix. It's become such a low maintenance plant. I don't even, I know you should, but I don't even take this plant out of its pot to water it. I just keep it in there. I know that it's so, I know that the gageana is quite a like resilient plant. So I know it's going to be fine. I'm going to stick that box like in the pot. Can we see any cooling around? Because they're so cool to see. I mean, they're big. They're quite big. I would have seen them by now. Yeah, a lot of it is new leaves, so I can't really show you the aurea variegation, but you can see like on this one, it's eventually going to fade and have that yellow in it. And I'm usually not a fan of aurea variegation. On some plants, I feel like it looks like sickly. But with this one, I think it looks so stunning. It's such a nice like balance. I love how it comes out and it looks like green on green variegation, then it like fades. I definitely noticed that if you have a baby gageana aurea, I've seen that with so many pups from this one, and it's super highly variegated. Just have patience. It's only once they start to mature that you start to get more balanced variegation. I thought that was typical to like the genes of the specific plant that I've had, but I've seen it with all of the pups, and all of the pups that I've like traded or sold. They've also all told me that once the plant gets like more mature, so do have patience if yours is giving you super highly variegated. I know that they tend to like, they look like they'll eventually start to melt and you lose those leaves pretty quickly, but it's only when it matures that it starts to give you like really nice balanced variegation. I've got a new leaf there as well coming out on the mother plant, which is very exciting. But yeah, you can see in this pot, like there's so many pups in it. It's doing so well. I've got this one living in my Alocasia corner, of course. On top of the, yeah, you guys would have seen when I did my Alocasia care day. It was like 2 videos ago, and I think I showed you this one, that it's next to the Alocasia regal shield. So it is kind of like shadowed a little bit by that one, but I have a mother Lifespectrum in front of it, so you can see this is the side that it's facing. You can see they're all like facing the light, but it is quite far away from the light. But I've grown this plant in low light, high light. I've not really noticed what it prefers. It's really happy where it is now. And I would consider that low light, to be honest. But yeah, it's very happy. And I'm just so happy that at least one Alocasia. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Because I've got 3 Alocasia on this list, and all 3 are doing really, really well. So I feel like I'm slowly, you know, climbing back up with my Alocasia. I'm getting there. So yeah, love this one. Oh dear, how am I going to do this? This plant is growing around the grow light. Oh dear. I need to do something with you. Where are you going? Oh my word, this plant has tendrilled its way into another Hoya. Oh my word. Okay. Okay. This is I'm just going to put a chair because there's a tendril here, there's one here, there's multiple here that have all, like, it's going insane. This one, I don't know what it is, but over the summer, this one was kind of on the slower side. And I wasn't really struggling with it, it was just slower. I think it prefers more of like these temperatures. But yeah, this last month, it has already bloomed twice in this last month, like September, and it's blooming for me again, but there's multiple peduncles on here. It's getting kind of top heavy. Look. 2 of them haven't popped yet, but this is the 3rd time it's bloomed for me this month. Oh. It's not focusing. Oh wait, no, 3 of them haven't popped. How pretty is that? And I've got another peduncle there, there. I've got one down here. Can you see? There, another one there. I've got, jeez, Don't get stuck on me. I've got another one here, and they're all like, none of them have burst. I feel like once this plant starts to bloom, that's it. It takes off. That's a new tendril. I've got, was there another one? No, I've shown you that one. Yeah, I've shown you that one. There's more like baby peduncles coming, but yeah, there are, I think there's 5 tendrils here that have, I need to get this one on like either a double trellis or make an extension for it, because I do actually have an extension. I just need to get around to doing it. Yeah, this plant is kicking into action this last month, so I feel like it's definitely appreciating the not as hot temperatures. Like this is definitely the season for it. I actually had to, the grow lights, so this tendril is right in front of the mother Lifespectrum. It's actually living right next to it, so it's one of the Hoyas that gets the sun, like the sun comes like that, and it's right here. So it's only when the sun, only really in the afternoon when the sun is over like that, that it actually gets light from there. And it's right next to the grow lights, but it's not actually, the plant itself, like the foliage is not getting light from the grow light. It's like right next to it, but it's facing the other direction, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But this one, I just think this is amazing how it's just doing its thing. And I didn't actually notice, but there's another really long one here that was growing up the, oh, it's making leaves as well. You can see it's like bent here. It was attaching itself to the corneana and the lacunosa that I have in the same pot together. But this has to be one of my favorite Hoyas. I just love the foliage. I get quite a couple of you who message me asking about this plant. Okay, sorry, I just thought that was a mealy. Because the caudata, there's a caudata sumatra, there's also another type of caudata. I bought this as the caudata, and then in brackets was big leaf. So it's apparently a subspecies of the caudata, because the leaves on this one, your face doesn't go on the camera. Is it Tunisia? Is that why you're laughing? Yeah. Okay, go. Anyway, yeah, this gets very, very big leaves. And a lot of you guys have said, oh, my caudata never gets big leaves like that. Maybe it's the conditions I give this one. I have no idea. I don't know. Honestly, I know that there's so many different species and subspecies from Hoya. So you don't need to ask me because I'm not an expert on that. I just honestly bought this one because I fell in love with the foliage. I didn't expect it to get such big leaves. Like you can see that these leaves do get very, very big. I had another one here. Like this one is bigger than my hand. Here as well, this leaf is also very big. At the bottom, yeah, it's just a very big leafed Hoya. And the foliage, the splashiness, and also this is one that I noticed in the summer got very, very red. It's kind of died down a little bit more now. That was obviously because of the sun, but its sun stress is very, very pretty. Like it's such a pretty, the back of the leaves as well, like a nice red tinge. It's just, yes, one of my favorite Hoyas. And the blooms are, I have to show you again, are so stunning. This is, yeah, this plant is very like unsteady. Oh, they're so pretty and so fluffy. And they don't have a smell. So I had people tell me, oh, you can tell by the scent of the flowers what subspecies of caudata it is. But this one doesn't have a scent. So if that says anything to you or tells you anything, I don't know. But either way, so beautiful. I said to myself I was going to bring all the plants over because I don't like it when I have to put footage in. I want you guys to see, you know, what the plant looks like next to me to kind of get a better scale from it. I'm gonna, okay, yeah, it's fine, I'll pick that up just now. I just took a inflow off that was dead, like I had to, oh no, I'm making a mess everywhere. Can you get the scale of it? This is one of the plants that I said is an absolute classic. This was actually one of the plants that Mitch recommended to talk about. But it is, I mean, he's right. It is one of those plants that, oh, they're dead. Oh, they're dead. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there is a little baggie on here. There was some like juvenile larvae. I can see some on this leaf as well. No, they're not alive. They do look kind of old. They're not really their like original color anymore. So they could just, yeah, this plant, it honestly, it's beautiful, but it does get neglected. This one lives on the like Anthurium shelf behind the couch. So because I'm never really facing the shelf and looking at the plant a lot unless I'm standing up, this plant does get neglected. Like it's quite dusty. I don't know if you can tell. But it's such a classic plant. I feel like, I mean, these are all Mitch's words, but he did, you know, he's right. This plant gets overlooked quite a lot. It's actually leaning its way out of the pot. It's so, can you see? I've got sticks here to kind of hold it up, but it's a very heavy one. The most recent leaf is this one here. It's getting big, like it's getting really big. This was actually my first ever Anthurium, and about 2 years ago, I completely chopped this plant up. I mean, I took off all of the foliage because it kept on getting thrips, and it was, on Anthuriums, it just looks awful, it really does. So I took off all of the foliage, and I remember it lived in my bathroom for quite a while and just wasn't doing anything. And then I brought it downstairs and I started like caring for it a little bit more and appreciating it a little bit more, and I hope that's not against the mark. I keep on seeing bugs, but it's dust. Yeah, this leaf is honestly a tiny little bit misformed, and that is just due to watering because I never take this thing off the shelf. I think the last time I took this off the shelf was like at the beginning of summer to give everything a really good shower. But I think I need to, maybe before the second, like the new round of preventative bugs come, I need to give it a shower and take off all the bags, and yeah, it's quite dusty. But it holds onto leaves for quite a long time compared to other Anthuriums that I've got anyway, and it's just a classic. It's so big. It usually gives us like 2 inflows at the same time, and I keep on forgetting I need to pollinate them because that would be so much fun. And I did at one point have like the perfect stage, and I looked at it and I was like, "Ooh, I need to like pollinate," because it had 2 inflows and they were both at the perfect stage, but I forgot about it then. So yeah, I will eventually get there. But I mean, that would be really fun to have little clarinervium babies, because at the rate that this one grows and how big it can get, all the leaves are facing one side, but I like that. Like the display on the shelf is really, really pretty. But it's just such a classic, and it just, whatever we're going through, it survives. It's a hardy one. Okay, I need to start crossing things off the list because this is where I always get wrong. It's gonna be a long video again, but I love making this type of video. Anyway, this is just look at that leaf. Ignore that leaf, like that leaf looks awful. It is sticky. I don't know what it is, but the EFN on this leaf was so bad that I was having to clean this plant off every like second day. And I've obviously got also like good bugs going on because this one, ever since I've had it, it's always had pests, just always had pests, whether it was spider mites or thrips, it always had one of the two. So yeah, I did put these are preventative ones because this one didn't. I only put the actual phytomites on the plants where I could see like thrips were actively busy. So this is just a preventative measure in here. But I put this one, I did this in a video with you guys. I put this one on the moss pole. I think I have talked about this plant though. I remember in my collection walkthrough. Oh my word. The way the sun is, like the position of the sun right now is just like, with this new house, all of the windows, they've got huge windows. It's just always shining in our face. But yeah, it gave me that leaf. And this leaf has not had EFN once. It's obviously still going to come. It's completely hardened off, but this leaf is perfection. Okay, cannot wait for this to get as big as the Splendid. The Splendid is struggling. It's struggling. It's also in an area here where it just gets bashed about all the time. So yeah, just struggling a bit. But it's a trooper, it just carries on. And I just really hope that this one also ends up being one of those, just like troopers. I've seen so many glorious, who was it? Wild Fern has a beautiful glorious. And she says it's like one of her easiest plants. So I really hope that that's going to be the case with me. It gave me that leaf as soon as I put it on this moss pole from Plant Scraper, because I have a lot better time keeping, like this is a drip system, keeping the moss pole hydrated. I don't see any roots yet. But it has, like it's attached, there's a node that has attached itself to the pole, but I don't see any roots in the pole yet. And yeah, I've got, oh my word, I've got 3 boxes in here. Oh, I did put phytomite on here. Maybe I did that because I was so nervous that this plant was going to get attacked. But that veining, that white veining of the glorious is just so stunning. And that dark sheen, it's just beautiful. So of course, had to make the list. Okay, next up is one of Mitch's plants, and I wasn't going to put this one on the list, but this is also the same case as the clarinervium. It's just one of those plants that has survived, this is bone dry, it has survived so much, and it's not because this is a favorites list that you always have to put your most beautiful plants on here, far from. Like that's why I said the classics just kind of have to shine out every now and then. I mean, this plant looks very awkward, as you can see. This leaf is facing the light. It's still a beautiful leaf. It's got some holes, it's got some marks, but it's still a beautiful leaf. But what's really exciting about this one used to be mine, and I gave it to Mitch because, oh, that's very bright. I gave it to him because I had enough. It was just not doing very well. It just, yeah, it wasn't happy with Maki. But I put it in moss, and it lived in moss for quite a while. And it was in moss that it was giving the most amazing roots. He recently potted it up, and he put like this layer at the top. Now this is bone dry. He does need to keep this hydrated. But look, it's going to give us a new leaf there. So yeah, again, the plant, it doesn't have to be beautiful to make the favorites list, but this is one of his honorable mentions because we've been through a lot with this plant in our life and just in general, and it survives. So it's definitely a hardy one. It might be a slow one because it's been a very long time since I've seen new growth, new foliage on this plant, but at least it's doing something. Is there water in here? No, there's not. I'm going to put that here to spray because he's working right now, so he won't remember that. So yeah, I'm going to spray that plant. But yeah, that's one of Mitch's mentions because it's one of those classics that has survived through a lot of hard times. Okay, I decided to top up the water reservoir because, oh no, my camera's going to die. Decided to change the battery straight away because I've not done that before and then I lose all of my footage. But yeah, I decided to top this up so that I don't forget because this has been drying out very, very quickly. And I think that's a sign that I need to do something with it. But you guys would have seen this in my Alocasia care video. But this is so exciting. This is the most success that I've ever had with a tandurusa, which is also known as the jacklyn. Some of you guys have said, oh, is it different from the jacklyn? But it's not. It's the same. It's just tandurusa is that the Latin name? Is that the proper name? Yeah, I know that jacklyn is like the nickname. It's actually the name of the person who poached this plant. But anyway, yeah, this was a rescue. I need to take that off because that's going to start rotting. It already has. Yeah, it makes me nervous. But yeah, I had to put this one on the list because of that beautiful leaf that it's given me. You guys would have seen this one was unfurling in that video. And look at that leaf. It's just perfection. I also have phytomites in my cabinet because if there's any spider mites or any thrips, the tandurusa is really, really tasty for them because of all those nice hairs. They like to snuggle up in there. But it's so beautiful, that leaf. It's not fully hardened off. That's why I'm not really touching it that much. But I'm also quite surprised at the size of the leaf for the first like leaf that it's given me since I rescued it. The roots as well, I did just top it up, so it might be a little bit hard to see. Oh, you can still see them. It's got a crazy root system, which is the most amazing root system that I've ever seen with a tandurusa. It's just, yeah. Oh, it's so hard not to touch it, isn't it? It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I still actually have those corms from our other tandurusa that I also did in that video. I might as well show you because there are some exciting things happening here. So yeah, I potted this up. I don't see any new roots, but I can see the old roots and none of them have died off. But this, I've not touched this plant. This is pushed out, like this is new. And yeah, this is the old like sheath that I just need to pull off. But this is new, there's a leaf in there. So that is our like original tandurusa, one that we grew from a seed. It, I don't know, the original roots still look okay. I can still see them here. And they've not died off or anything. There's another like nice juicy one. So that's a good sign. And it's just living here. I think if Mitch would have it in his cabinet, it would do a lot better. But his cabinet's a little bit full at the moment. But I can also see on my one that I rescued, there's like a point here that, it's just so exciting. I'm like nervous to take it out just because it is doing so well, but I do need to take it out of this jar because of the shape of it. It's going to be difficult to get the plant out without. I might just smash this for Alocasia. I'll do that. But it's just, yeah, those roots are they're so healthy looking and they look so good. It kind of makes me wonder, like those are water roots. Should I try again and pot? Oh my word. I've got two, so technically I could experiment with this one, but this one has obviously taken first place because of how beautiful it is. But then again, once that one gives us a new leaf, that one will definitely be bigger than this one because the corm, like the rhizome, whatever you call it, was a lot bigger. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think I'm going to be able to wait very long. Like even just doing that, it is solid in there. Yeah, I had to make the list. It's so pretty. Next up is this little cutie. This is the Hoya rangsan or ranks. I never know the right way of saying that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this one, I mean, look at that leaf. That's quite a new leaf. It's big. This was a rescue. Yes, it was. It was a rescue. And I think in my last, was it my last Hoya care day? Honestly, I don't remember. But I do remember taking care of this one because this one was, I think I had this in stratum and it was growing so quickly because I have another little propagation as well, which is in like a teeny tiny pot. It's so cute. But that's in the propagation room in the, Udacity as well, in the Spider Farmer plant stand. And that one's also giving me a tendril, which is very exciting. Finally. There are some wonky leaves here, but that's my own fault. It was like pressing up against the pot. This one has been growing so nicely, in spite of it having root mealies. Now, honestly, this does not look, you can see them there by the roots, like the white fuzzy. They just look like mealybugs, but they root mealybugs. But yeah, I did the other day, there are some good bugs in there and they are eating because I had so much more. Like this one was infested. But you just have to make sure that the substrate does not dry out because then the good bugs will obviously also die. So that's the only challenge that I am having because this is my second round. They also suggested to, change the soil up, but I've noticed that I don't want to like badmouth Cibotanica because I use a lot of their products, but I've noticed that the Hoya mix, well, I've moved a lot of my Hoyas to that Hoya mix and it was soon after that they all got root mealies. Again, that could just be a coincidence, but I just find it very weird that it's only the Hoyas. Is it only the Hoyas that I have in that Cibotanica mix? I think it is. Because I have a couple, I'm just going to check actually, now that I'm talking about it. No, it's not. There's also some Hoyas where I can see root mealies on that were in the first mix that I ever worked with Hoyas, and that's the Anthurium and Orchid mix from Stool Ninja. I do still love that one, but I've noticed that certain Hoyas want a little bit more of a denser mix. And the Hoyas that I had in the beginning, they were like more easy. So I do have a little bit more difficult Hoyas now. But all of my Hoyas love the mix from Cibotanica. So I do recommend it, but I just find it very weird. Again, it could just be a coincidence. It really could be. And it could also just be the fact that I already had them and they've just spread. You know, I'm just thinking out loud, yeah, I don't know. I still believe in that mix and I still love it and I'll still put Hoya in it 100%. But I've just noticed that even the some that I've like recently repotted into that mix, they also have root mealies, and that's like quite quick. I don't know. I'm going to see now because I've got some cuttings that I got from my last plant market from Perfect Hoya. They've all rooted like absolute crazy. I'm going to pot them up. I'm going to keep them separate. I'm actually thinking about putting them in a prop box to experiment and see if I then get root mealies, it's from that mix, which means that there is larva in there. I know that they don't, I know that some companies, they like cook their mixes to get rid of any bacteria, but then you're also getting rid of the good bacteria. So I don't know. I feel like it's, you know, it's like you got to find the right balance. And I know that Cibotanica is very like strict with their mixes, and they are very organic and very, very good mixes. And I don't think they cook them, which means things like fungus gnats and root mealies, they can already be in the mix, so you know. But then at the same time, all of those good bugs are also in there, because I've got Hoyas, all of my Hoyas. You would not say that the majority of my Hoya collection has got root mealies. Like I've seen root mealies in almost every single pot with my Hoyas, and they're still growing like crazy. Like this is all new here. I've not seen any damage on, or any like disformity, or you know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, it's a very weird thing. I don't know, I'm just struggling to get rid of them, but my Hoyas are not complaining. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But again, that's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. So the good bugs are working. It's just the part that I have to do, which is keeping the mix moist. I didn't want to say that word, but it's the only word I could think of. I'm just struggling with that. But yeah, the rangsan, I've got so much new growth going on here. I've got 2 new leaves there. Like it's growing so nicely. And the foliage on this one, come on. Like the splashiness, but then if you can also see like the texture in it, the veining, it's so pretty. These 2 leaves here at the top as well. It's a very, very pretty Hoya. I'm very glad that I rescued this one, and I might still keep the little baby I've got upstairs. I don't know. But I also love sharing my plants, so maybe I'll just keep that one. But at the rate that this one is growing, I'm going to be able to propagate this soon anyway. I also took this one off the trellis, actually, and I noticed that it's growing a lot nicer. So it might just be like a trailing Hoya. I don't know. We'll see. But I just think it is such a pretty Hoya. That leaf is obviously just taking me... Oh, but that splashiness is so pretty. Yeah, silver Hoya, splashy Hoya, I just love them. I'm going to My Botanica this weekend in Hum. I'll definitely be on the lookout for silver Hoya, definitely. Okay, I'm just going to show you because I didn't do this on camera because I noticed it and I did it straight away. But right next to my head is another extension. So I've got 3 poles on here now. I can already see a root starting to go into the extension. But yeah, I recently extended my Philodendron gigas. And this is, I think, as high as I'm going to go. Oh, you can't see. It's the leaf that I need to show you. Oh. Look how big this leaf is. It's huge. It's so stunning. I do have to say that I found that this one gets deformed leaves very quickly. Like that leaf is beautiful, but if you bring it closer, this plant is heavy. I'm gonna try and pick up the camera and show you. If you bring it closer, you can see that it does have some like bends and dents. That is when the leaf is unfurling. This plant, definitely you have to keep it hydrated, especially when it's giving you a new leaf, which with this one has been like, words. I'm losing my words here. Yeah, this plant just gives you leaves very, very quickly. It's already, like, this leaf has not fully hardened off yet, and there's a new leaf there. And I watered this moss pole last night, and because I noticed that that leaf was stuck, and this morning it popped out. So yeah, you do need to keep on top of watering with this one. I never water in the pot. I'm actually gonna have a look now. It does have good roots. It is a little bit moist at the bottom actually, but it has good roots. The roots look good. Yeah, I never really have to water the pot just because it kind of like drains into the pot, whatever's left over. And with this third extension on it, I've noticed that if I do, I've got like that drip system at the top. If I do fill that up 2 times, or like 2.5, that's just enough to also water the pot. But if you notice that the soil is still like a little bit, if I notice that the soil is still a little bit damp, I will just fill it up twice, and then I know that it's not all going to drain into the pot and like maybe cause root rot issues in the pot. But it's rooted very, very nicely in the pole. Oh, it's a little bit like the backlight, but yeah, you can see the roots in there. Like, they're really nice, juicy roots. I love these moss poles from Plantscraper. I've fallen back in love with moss poles because of these moss poles from Plantscraper. And specifically if you are, I wish I could get it in frame like the whole time. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to hold it though. But now you can see the stunning leaf. Yeah, I wish that I had put more plants like in the beginning of my moss pole journey on Plantscraper poles. I remember I did in the beginning, but I don't think they had the drip system then. And I struggled because the moss poles, you can get them in different sizes. And this size I like. It's not too big, but it's also not too small. But you do have to frequently, like every 2 days, I know that I have to go and look and maybe top it up with a little bit of water just to keep it from drying out completely. And I don't wait until it's like crunchy. But yeah, it's just made my life so much easier. And if you are struggling with the melanocrasum, I would highly recommend trying the gigas, because as soon as we got the gigas in at work, it was actually a promo deal because we can't get them in like standard. They're not part of our standard stock. And this was a deal because I paid €9 for it. And it already had quite a couple of leaves. Like, it still got all of its original leaves at the bottom. It had quite a lot of leaves, and it was growing at quite a fast rate even before I put it on the moss pole, because I did a specific video for Plantscraper on this plant, and it's just done so well. I mean, yeah, those leaves, some of them are a little bit damaged, but I don't care. It's sizing up so nicely. It's really, that's like dark velvety. Oh yeah, I keep also a beneficial bugs on here all the time because of the velvety. Yeah, it's just me and velvet plants. I always get pests, always. They always go to them first. So I just, want to take preventative measures. But this has been such an easy plant, and I highly recommend. It's so beautiful. It's just stunning. I'm going to put it back. I think this was one of my favorites last month, the warocqueanum, but I specifically want to do this one because this is my warocqueanum dark form. And this leaf is just, I'm aware there's going to be a new leaf there, I can see. Yeah, this leaf is just perfection. Like, look how dark that is and how big. So this is living in my IKEA Millsboro tall. I actually need to move it, but I applied a tip that I got at my very first My Botanica in Horton, and we were talking with a grower. This was, I think, the grower that I was allowed to hold the Anthurium spectable, that big plant. I think it's also on my thumbnail as well. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. I'll put a picture on screen. But he was giving us some tips about how to grow your anthuriums like big, quickly. And he spoke about the spectable. I mean, that is a pendant anthurium, so that is one that you would just like naturally let hang. But he said actually let your warocqueanum hang. So don't let, like these leaves, don't let them touch like a surface, because it will encourage them to get longer and like bigger. So I did that with this one. I actually have this in my cabinet at the bottom, but it's got a pedestal. So none of these leaves are touching any surface underneath. And it's definitely worked because, as you can see, this is the previous leaf. And I applied that tip that he gave us. Look at that. That's just amazing. So I do have some new shelves in my cabinet, and I am going to get it to, yeah, I'm going to put it on that shelf and just let it, this is still a little bit soft actually. Seems to be taking quite a while to harden off. Yeah, the bottom of the leaf, I have started noticing it's getting very close to the bottom. I don't know if you can actually tell that it's not damaged, but I don't know. So that tip definitely helps. So if you want your warocqueanum or your, maybe we should like apply, just like any anthuriums that have this like long, what other anthuriums got? Isn't there like the squamicale? I mean, yeah, the pendant anthuriums, obviously, but I feel like you naturally let them hang anyway. I don't know, just the anthuriums that have like this shape leaf that are not technically like pendant anthuriums, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just try it. Just try it. I've got proof here. Like, look at the two next to each other. It's amazing. And it's so dark. I actually got this plant for free. I got this plant for free at my very first plant market at the beginning of this year in Maastricht. Downtown Plant Club was there. It was also the first time that I saw them in person, which was really nice. And I got a philodendron, a wishlist philodendron, that's right. And with every purchase, or every purchase above a certain price or whatever, you got a free warocqueanum dark form. And I just thought, a deal like that, like you're not going to see that very often. And I think that was the last time I saw them doing a deal like that. I don't know, but you don't see a deal like that very often, that you get like a free plant, especially one like this with your purchase. So I had to get it. I just had to make a purchase. But when I saw that they had a wishlist philodendron, like, not a problem at all. But I actually chose one of the smallest ones because they had a lot of very, very big ones in the boxes. But I chose one of the smallest ones because that one wasn't damaged. A lot of the ones, like the bigger ones, they all had damaged leaves because they were so big. And I just thought it would be so much more fun to grow like a smaller one by myself. So yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. But now that I've taken it out the cabinet, I'm going to put it in its new home, which is like on a shelf, and still let it hang. But it's so stunning. Okay, the last two plants. I'm not going to be able to bring this one over, unfortunately, because it is so heavy and so big. You guys would have seen it in my Alocasia care videos, but I kind of put a spotlight on my regal shield, and I feel like I need to do it again because it is such a classic and easy Alocasia that I feel like everyone needs to give it a try. Even if you're not into Alocasia, you will, like, that itch, that Alocasia itch, there needs to be like a saying for that. I don't know, but yeah, it's one of the first Alocasia that really got me in and like made it to my favorite genus that it is today. And yeah, the regal shield is a classic. It's one that you pretty much see in all, I mean, yeah, in Belgium you see it in all of the garden centers. It's a very popular one. Like as soon as it comes in, it's sold. I mean, I also kind of promote it a little bit because I talk about it a lot because everyone is drawn to the Alocasia table, but usually the people that are drawn to it are usually the people that are not really like Alocasia people, like you know what I mean? So I recommend the regal shield then to kind of like dip your toe into it because it's very, very easy, very easy. I have mine in pon. I recently repotted it, put it in a really beautiful pot from Alho, also in a self-watering pot from Alho because you can get like the really big size ones. And it's doing really well. It's no leaves have damaged. It hasn't dropped any leaves. It definitely went for a phase of giving me a couple of smaller leaves, but that was because it was getting less light, like really, really low light. And you know, it still needs some light. But yeah, it's just such a classic, such a classic. My favorite Alocasia, hands down. And if you haven't tried it, you need to. You really, really need to. It's just got beautiful, like velvety, dark, purpley leaves. It's just such a stunning Alocasia. Yeah, there's nothing, it's easy. It's easy. It's also, it's the only alocasia that if it does get pests, I let it do its thing. I let it suss itself out. It's a very mature one, obviously. But yeah, it kind of figures itself out. I don't have to do much to that. I do have like preventative bugs on there, but they're not for like spider mites and for thrips. I think it's only for spider mites, the preventative ones that I have on there. But it just susses itself out. It just takes care of it. And it always looks good, no matter what. Always. So it had to make the list. It's my favorite alocasia, but I don't add it very frequently onto my favorites list because it's like almost like a standard that it is my favorite alocasia. So I don't know why I don't think to put it on there more frequently. But the Alocasia Regal Shield Albo is actually one that I do really want that one. It is quite expensive though, but I am going to keep my eye out for it at my Botanica. If it's the only plant I get, I'm okay with that. Like I don't want to go ahead and get like loads and loads of plants. Maybe cuttings. I like getting cuttings to like, grow it myself and get it to root by myself. Because usually the plants that are already established and have a root system, they actually shock more than the cuttings that you buy. But anyway, yeah, I really want a Regal Shield Albo. Like really, that like dark purpley foliage with white. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to keep my eye out for that one. Which leads me on to the last one, which is definitely the favorite one. And this is a new addition into my collection. But I got this at the last plant market I went to, the plant festival from Mr. Plants, and I got I actually still got the tag with the price on it, but yeah, this plant is so stunning. When I brought it home, you guys saw that it was giving me new leaves. It was actively growing. That's why this one also stood out to me, and also the price, because 50 euros for a Hoya this size, like an Argentine princess this size, is a damn good price. But it was unfeeling, or it was inflating this leaf here, which got a bit of variegation, but it's just given me this leaf. And look how perfect that is. And it's still, like, it's a carnosa variety, so I know it will be a vigorous grower, but I was a little bit nervous that it would revert. I mean, not that I would be mad about it, because the silveriness is still stunning, but obviously, the silver in combination with the variegation, you want that, in the Argentea princess. So, yeah, it had to make the list. Those like 2 new leaves are stunning. So pretty. And then like the red stem. Oh, it's just everything about this plant is so beautiful. I got this one from Houseplant Joy, and actually some of my favorite Hoyas I got from her. She's got a really nice collection, and I feel like really good prices as well. This is the only one she had, and I remember even my mom remembered this one and said that was a really, really pretty one. I've got this one in my Millsbo tall cabinet, and the grow light is like here. So it's very, very close to the grow lights. I did that on purpose. You can actually see on this leaf, can you see that little bit of pinkiness, that sun stressing? It's so pretty. Yeah, of course, this had to be my favorite. There's also quite a lot of, like, those are all new roots. All of, like, the whiter roots, like there as well. That's all new. So I'm obviously leaving it in there because it's very, very happy. I think my gajo, I never know the right way of saying it. That was also from Houseplant Joy, and that one's also, I also left it in the mix because that she was using because it was just so happy. And this is obviously also very happy. And it's got a cute little sticker on the pot. So yeah. Boily, do you want to come inside? So yes, this is my favorite of September. I know it's a new plant, but it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this one in the spot that it's in because that variegation with that tiny little bit of sun stressing, it's so pretty. And the fact that it also didn't, like, plants can still shock bringing them, because they went from her home to the plant market, and then at the plant market it came home with me, and then I put it in a different environment in my cabinet. So this plant has obviously been moved around a lot, so it can stress, So I thought it might stop growing for a little bit, but the fact that it's not done that and it's given me that leaf, I'm very, very happy with it. It's so pretty. So pretty. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, stunning. I'm going to put it back in. But yeah, those are my September favorites. Let me know in the comments about your favorites. What's been going on in your plant collection? Have you been struggling with pests? I feel like the change in seasons, I've noticed like at work, also from clients at work, that pests are very, very active now. And also with the change of season, it is normal. So what do you do? I can see a good bug crawling on one of the plants. Like they're quite big. I'm not going to disturb it. I'm going to let it do its thing. But what do you do? Do you use good bugs? Do you have any preventative measures? A lot of you guys have just said like pure alcohol, and I wish I could get my hands. I think if I got my hands on it a lot quicker, that I would have used it more. But for me, just in my situation and how busy my life is at the moment, the good bugs are just, they're the workers for me. They do the work for me. I don't have to do anything. I only have to rinse them off maybe like once a month. And even then, I feel like it's just less work, less maintenance. Whereas with the, like the preventative measures with the sprayer and everything, I struggle with that. I personally struggle with that. But let me know in the comments what you do. Are you struggling with anything? If you guys have any questions on like the plants that I've talked about today, just leave it in the comments. I always get back to my comments. It might sometimes be a couple of days later, but again, I've got a busy life, but I do get back to them. Even if you just comment with an emoji, I still like to reply to let you know that, I see your comments, and I do really, really appreciate it, because liking, commenting, sharing, watching my video all the way to the end is the best way to support my channel. It's for free for you guys, but I do really, really appreciate it, and I do see it in my analytics. It does boost my channel. There is also this new thing called hype. I don't know if you've seen it already. It's when you like the video, it comes up if you want to hype the video or not. I think you can do up to 3 a week. I'm not 100% sure, but it does also boost the video to, so that it gets out to more people. So that's also a way of supporting, not only my channel, but, other channels that you like, just support us all on YouTube. I do love doing it. I really, really do. And I'm not going anywhere. It's a lot of work, but your comments where you are thanking me, or you just give me that little bit of tap on the shoulder, they make the world of difference. They really, really do. So yeah, if you watch this video all the way to the end, leave I'm going to ask Mitch. What emoji should I ask them? Lexi. A dog emoji. Okay. She's not really been in the video though. Bully, come here. We'll put you in the video. Bully. Okay, but the plant. Lexi, come here. Sit. Oh, jeez. He's so wild. Yeah, bully. Okay. Yeah, leave a dog emoji in the comments. Let me know you watched all the way to the end. If you did, thank you so, so much. Like I said, I see you, I hear you, and I do really appreciate it. I know I sound like a broken record at the end of my videos, but I just want to let you know, that I do really appreciate it. And yeah, the next video will be the autumn decor video that quite a couple of you said that you wanted to see. So yeah, that's going to be the next video. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in my next video. How many times have I said video? Jeez. Bye.